Turles, the original evil Goku lookalike. One of the most popular Toei original villains behind Broly and Cooler. And with that, he obviously mirrors Goku as well. We can first begin with his appearance. He obviously looks almost exactly like Goku aside from the darker skin and the two devil horns he has in his hair. Turles is a very clear representation of the Saiyan that Goku could have grown up to be had he either not been sent to Earth or hit his head as a child. And his personality is pretty in line with the other Saiyans that were introduced at this point. Even his goal at the time is very reminiscent of theirs. As like Vegeta, his motivation for coming to Earth was in search of power that could allow him to overthrow Frieza, though for whatever reason the Funimation English dub removes these lines referencing him. Given those devil horns and how he thematically represents a dark path Goku could have gone down, you could say he's like a figurative manifestation of Goku's inner demons, which in this case is his Saiyan nature. The sub even lampshades it directly in one scene. But aside from their appearance, there are numerous other similarities between the two, such as how both of them are low-class Saiyans, yet both of them at the time were using objects and techniques that were created for or by the gods, such as the Tree of Might, Spirit Bomb, and Kaioken, which further adds to the similarity. You could even say that the fruit is like an evil twist on the Sensu Beans as well, as they're both items that the Saiyans and their allies use throughout battle. And on a smaller note, Turles also does share Goku's love of eating, as the chance to eat delicious foods is one of the things that he brings up to try and convince Gohan to join him. And while it's not mentioned in the film itself, it's revealed in a guidebook how Turles met his gang, and we can draw a few parallels to how Goku met his friends, as they were all people either freed or helped in some way by Turles, aside from Daiz, who was actually a prince who Turles bested in combat but spared and allowed him to join him. Not unlike Goku's own dynamic with Vegeta and the Z-Fighters, with how they were all not so good people when Goku met them, but after helping them, they joined him. Even the scenes where Goku and Turles fight each other's allies look pretty similar to each other. But of course, now the similarities end there, and we could talk about the differences. Continuing off their dynamic with their allies, whereas Goku initially came into conflict with all his allies, in the end he convinced them to all be better people through his actions, whereas Turles allowed them to indulge in their evil. And whereas Vegeta was a prince who attacked Goku's planet, it was another way around in Turles' case with Daiz. And beyond the aspect that Turles is a typical Saiyan, there are a few other key differences, such as their approach to strength. While both have a great admiration of power, we can see the ways they go about gaining their own strength differ. This ties into how I mentioned the Tree of Might contrasts against the Spirit Bomb and Kaioken. Whereas the Spirit Bomb involves energy willingly being given to another being to use, the Tree of Might forcefully drains the life force out of beings. And whereas the Kaioken increases the strength of the user but at the cost to their own body, the fruit of the Tree of Might increases the power of the user at no cost to themselves, but rather towards everyone else on the planet. Which also ties into another difference, their pride. While Turles also does display great pride in being a Saiyan, he does not share the same pride Goku places in his own work. The Tree of Might is a shortcut to power that Turles relies on to grow stronger. Turles lacks the work ethic Goku has towards getting stronger. Goku would refuse to use such a method to get stronger, as he always prefers to gain his own power whenever he can unless it's a last resort, which makes Turles' death all the more fitting, as Goku uses a Spirit Bomb that was composed of the energy that the Tree of Might stole from Earth to defeat Turles. The Earth itself gave Goku the energy to destroy the Saiyan he could have been. And there's even a smaller difference with Turles' slightly more formal manner of speech in contrast to Goku's more hick-sounding dialect. And that is all I got on this one. I know this one is pretty straightforward and kind of short and obvious, but I still wanted to go on and make it. Special thanks to Mari for helping me translate that guidebook page. A link to go follow them will be on the description. Now, if y'all want to do me a favor by liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and following me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you, and have a nice day.